Hello and welcome to Painting Benjamin, a sculpt by me, Michelle Kain. Start off with your clean space, get your part A, part B, and your colors together. I started with a blue and a blood. Mix together A, B, and my thinner. I use Mona Lisa. I started off this video nice and slow so I could give you guys an idea, and then I'm going to speed it up. So I start with my shadows and then my veins, and I like to make my color go as long as possible. So I start off first by putting in the blue and the red. The red makes the blue a little bit deeper. And then you have a sponge on standby so that when you get a little bit too much, you can just dab it. You don't want to fully see the color. You just want it to be slightly there. As you're painting, if you see any little fluffs, fuzz, hairs, make sure you pick them off, because if you get those in the silicone, they're going to be there. It's going to set and you won't be able to get it out. In this video, I'm using silk pigments. I've been using these since I started 3 years ago, and honestly, I've been using the same set that I ordered 3 years ago, and I'm just now starting to run out, and I think I want to try Chris C. At McPherson. She has her own pre-made up colors, and I think they're great for people who maybe aren't as good as mixing colors together. If you get any buildup of color in the creases, say in the eyes, it's not cute, and when it sets, it's like blobs of color in there, so you need to make sure you dab it away and make sure it's nice clean so you get the more natural look that you can. Alright, now that you have an idea of what we're doing, I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. Alright, now we're done. Here he is with his blue shadows. There's a head. Now I like to use the same color, add a little bit of red, and it's going to turn your blood blue into a purpley tone. And then I do the veins right off the bat. So with the veins, very, very lightly, like spidering down the chest. We're going to do the chest, we're going to do the head, we're going to do the arms. This guy's a preemie, so they're especially veiny. Here he is now. And then right off of that, after I do my veins, everything kind of sets. So I add in the more blood red. And then I'm going to do over the shadows again. So I have the blue, and then I have the reddy brown colors. I don't like to do the bright pink because I feel like that's not very natural looking. So I went with the blood red brown tone. And here he is with all of his veins and his shadows and then his creases done over again. Now we're done our base. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing our skin tones. So you can see here, went right down his arm, his eyes, his other arm, his hand. Looks good to me. So I was ready to go on to my next, my body. I like to give my babies a rinse off before I do the next. So here I went with a salmon-y color. Anybody who follows my page will see that I did it way too dark the first time and I had to strip it. So I went back, I got rid of some of the color, really, really thinned it down. And then you can see I just patted him. You could see it more in real life, but you barely want to be able to see your layers. Otherwise it looks like cakey. You can see we're getting to my skin tone now. My next step was to do a green and yellow. That makes a lime green. This gives it more of an undertone color. It makes it different from my skin tone, but I want to make him a little bit darker because he's a preemie. So here we are with the salmon color and then the lime green color. Next I went into a fuchsia color, and that was a little bit more pinky than I was trying to go for, white, red, and blood. Did his cheeks, did his hands, added a little bit more red here, and then I went all over his body. So before I added the red and made it more pinky, I did his hands, I did his feet, I did his cheeks, I did his lips. I just didn't record that part. This is how he looked after everything was done. I only had to do a few very, very light coats to achieve this very realistic, sweet look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know.